What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our Ipswich Town preview here on Anfield Agenda. Kieran McKenna's men travel to Anfield for a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, and weather permitting, because there is a storm coming here to Ireland, and I'm not sure if I'll have electricity or not, but weather permitting, I will be live for the watch along from 2 p.m. on Saturday, where we'll have our normal match reaction and player ratings videos back as well. Over the course of this video, I'm going to go through and give you a bit of a fact file on Ipswich, their form coming into the game, our recent head-to-heads. We're going to give you an injury update to the best of our information ahead of the game as well, and then I'll go through my predicted 11 and my score prediction, of course asking you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and we would love you to hit that subscribe button. So as I mentioned, lots to go through. I'm going to start off actually with the injury update. We don't yet know if Curtis Jones has been ruled out of the game or not as I sit here recording this. So I've erred on the side of caution and said that he isn't available. On top of that, we know that Diogo Jota and Joe Gomez won't be available for the Reds, and that is pretty much it. To the best of our understanding, no new injury concerns other than the one hanging over Curtis Jones. So with that in mind, let's have a look at Ipswich and a bit of a fact file on them. So Ipswich have won 2 of their last 3 away league games against Liverpool, having failed to win any of their first 27 visits to Anfield beforehand. They'd drawn 8 and lost 19. Their last visit to Anfield ended in a 5-0 defeat on the final day of the 2001-2003 season. However, Liverpool have won their last 10 Premier League games home against promoted sides by an aggregate score of 34-7 since the 1-0 loss to Fulham in March 2021. Liverpool have a higher XG total than any other side in Premier League history this season, while only Southampton have a higher XG against than Ipswich. So it's looking like Liverpool should be set up for a few goals. Looking at the head-to-heads here, you can see it was Ipswich Town 0, Liverpool 2 on the opening game of the season. In the League Cup in 2002, it finished Liverpool 1, Ipswich Town 1, Liverpool winning that one on penalties. Premier League in 0-1-0-2, Liverpool 5, Ipswich Town 0, and Ipswich 0, Liverpool 6, so an 11-0 aggregate victory there. Ipswich's form coming into this game, ladies and gentlemen, they beat Chelsea 2-0 in the Premier League, which was a shock result. 2-2 draw with Fulham. Then they beat Bristol Rovers in the FA Cup by 3-0. They've been beaten 2-0 by Brighton, and then a whopping 6-0 defeat to Manchester City in their last Premier League outing. Means they're going to come and they're going to want to make a better account of it than they did against Manchester City. And of course, from our perspective, we want to go and put them to the sword and make sure that we can rack up some goals along the way. But most importantly, get the 3 points that would see us keep our place firmly clear at the top of the Premier League. So let's start going through now and having a look at my predicted 11. Now, I say predicted 11, and that's kind of different this week, actually. This is more what I would do rather than what I think Arne is going to do. So this isn't really a predicted 11. This is what I would do if I was the manager. So let's have a look at the goalkeeper and the centre-backs first. Well, I don't think you're going to see any huge surprises there. Alisson Becker in goal. Ibrahima Konate to come back in alongside our captain, Virgil van Dijk. I want to just say for a second, though, Jarell Quansah, I thought, did very, very well in the last game. But Konate coming back in, that is the partnership. But I do want to just single out Jarell Quansah for some praise. I thought he did very well in the last game. Into the full-back positions, here's what I've gone for. Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, to come back in at right back. Conor Bradley did very well for the 85 or so minutes that he was on in the last one, but Trent will surely come back in here. And then on the far side, I've gone for Andy Robertson over Costas, mainly because Costas played the last game and Robbo's had a chance to have a breather. And I'm still trying to figure out, the battle between those two, because I think most of us can agree that we do need to upgrade at left back. But right now, it's a coin toss between Robbo and Costas for me. And for this one, I'm going to stick with Andy Robertson. But of course, you guys feel free to let me know in the comments if you think differently. Next up, we move into midfield. And this is where my changes will really start to come in. So, Ryan Gravenberch, I think you'll all agree with that one there. Him in the centre, although maybe you think play with Turo Endo and give him a rest, but I'm going to say Ryan Gravenberch. Then for me, Harvey Elliott and Alexis McAllister. Not because I think Dominic Szoboszlai has done anything wrong, far from it. I think he's been very good, but I would give him a breather against Ipswich Town, and I'd play Alexis McAllister and Elliott. McAllister, obvious reasons. I think he's the glue that binds our midfield together. And Harvey Elliott, because I just want to see what he can do. He was very impressive coming on at half-time in the last game. He was voted your Anfield Agenda man of the match. And I'd like to see him get a 90 minutes and show the manager what he can do at home with Anfield behind him. I think that will be a good show and a good way to mix it up and give Dominic Szoboszlai a rest. So my midfield, Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Harvey Elliott. Now though, we move into the front end of the pitch, and this is what I've gone with in the wide positions. Mohamed Salah on the right and Cody Gakpo on the left. And it was a difficult one for the wide positions because, yes, you can make an argument to play Federico Chiesa, but I still think we're in the territory where the manager is going to bring him off, or bring him on off the bench at about 65, 70. But I would have no issues if he started on either flank and one of the other players was rested. I just think this is probably the best fit for now. Mohamed Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left. Bring on Chiesa then with about half an hour to go. Regardless of what's happening, it should be preordained in my opinion. And then we look through to the centre. And there's not really many options here. Do we go with Luis Diaz again through the centre? Or do we keep the guy with the hot hand? And I do think that we can describe Darwin as having a hot hand at the minute. Can we? Maybe I'm stretching, but I still want him to play. So that's exactly who I've put through the centre. Darwin Núñez. If Diogo was there, this would have been probably a different outcome, but he isn't. And I'm still not fully convinced by Luis Diaz through the centre. So my 11 to take on Ipswich Town is Alisson Becker in goal, Trent at right back, Andy Robertson at left back, centre back pairing of Ibrahim Konate and your captain Virgil van Dijk. Into midfield I've gone for Ryan Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott and Alexis McAllister. And up top, Mohamed Salah on the right, Cody Gakpo on the left and Darwin Núñez through the centre. So that's all very well and good, but what about the score prediction? Now, again, this was one that I could have got carried away. I could have gone 5, 6, 7s. I could have looked at the Manchester City game and thought that we're going to rip them to shreds. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I've come up with. A 3-0 victory for Liverpool. And I would take that and bite your hand off for it right now. A clean sheet would be priority number one here, as well as, of course, the win, which should speak for itself. But a clean sheet would be lovely because we need to get back to doing that and not having to rely on the forwards to score 2, 3, 4 in a game. And look, nothing wrong with a handy 3-0 home victory as well. Hopefully some goals in the first half. Allow Arne to make some changes. Look to his bench. And then, of course, have one eye on the game coming up next Wednesday against PSV Eindhoven. The last group or league phase game of the Champions League, with Liverpool with a chance there to go perfect in 8 wins from 8. We do need at least a point to guarantee that we top the Champions League phase. So might as well go for the win, what? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the preview. As always, we will be live an hour beforehand, as I've mentioned, weather permitting. I do hope that all of you guys who are in the path of this storm over here in Ireland stay safe at home with your families. Don't take any unnecessary journeys and, of course, listen to the advice that we're all being given. And I will catch you up with you guys, hopefully, for the game on Saturday. If not, well, have a lovely weekend, but I will see you soon. So thank you for watching. Much love. And again, looking forward to reading your thoughts on my team selection. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care.